On the show this week, we bring you the battle of the sub-4-meter petrol SUVs, with Ford's new EcoSport going up against Tata's Nexon. We also check out the high-tech new Audi A8, and Hormaz brings you the latest buzz from the automotive world.
As you can see, compact SUVs can cut through quite a bit of the rough stuff, and that's probably why they're so popular in our country considering our roads. Yes, compact SUVs are in, and petrols are also becoming popular. Now, Ford have recently launched their EcoSport with a new 1.5-litre Dragon petrol engine. And we thought we'd pit it against its rival, a petrol one that's been catching quite a few eyeballs, the Tata Nexon. Let's take a look at how they pan out. Both cars aim at the same segment of customers but are styled quite differently. The EcoSport takes the more traditional route with the squared-off stance, the tail-mounted spare wheel, and the facelift only adds more to the beefy front. The Nexon, on the other hand, is in your face with its contrast white molded plastic skirting along the window line of the car and highlighting other areas. Its coupe-like styling makes it stand out, and yes, its squat stance, large wheels and massive wheel arches with the high ground clearance give it enough to fall into the compact SUV territory as well. For some, this may seem too much, but for most, the Nexon styling will be an eye-catcher. Well, since this is the newer interior on the EcoSport and it's got some fresh additions, let's talk about it first. Of course, there's this floating infotainment screen which is brand new, and it's a welcome addition. It comes with the Android Auto and the Apple CarPlay. It's really intuitive to use. The touch works really well. There's no lag on the screen, so it's nice. There are new dials as well, but these come across as a little bit simple and flat and plain, especially in this comparison. Well, there's no doubt about it, the Nexon's interior are shades ahead of any other Tata car that we've seen before, especially as far as quality of plastics go. Now, this nice honeycomb finished plastic on the top of the dash, the lower half is really nicely textured too, and even these metallic bits that are actually plastic don't land up looking plasticky and cheap. They look nice. Meters and dials are nice, the layout is good and modern, and it feels like a nice interior to be in. However, there is a however, there are some inconsistencies in the way that this cabin is finished. While some bits of it look really good, you find things like panel gaps here on the glove box, rough edges around all the finishings where there are gaps, and even as far as the central console is concerned, there's not enough storage space for things, and the pocket is really deep. The plastics used inside come across as a little tacky as well. And more than that, it's really, the way all the knobs, buttons, switches function, which are a bit inconsistent as well. Like, especially when you use things like seat recline, it's really hard to use the lever. And sometimes I just have to put a little extra pressure to use it. It's the same with the flip and fold seats at the back. You really have to tug at them to get them to move, and it's little things like this that actually let the Nexon down. The car that we've been driving has a central locking system that's malfunctioned and keeps going click, click, click throughout the entire drive. These are quality issues, and that's where the EcoSport comes out ahead. Fit, finish and quality feels much better overall. However, if you ask me about looks, appearance and comfort, the Nexon's interior is better. As far as features go, let's take a look at the list. Ford has reserved the top-end Titanium Plus variant for the petrol auto and diesel manual only. That means with the manual petrol version, you will be left wanting for a few of the top-end features like side and curtain airbags, electronic stability control, auto wipers and headlamps, which are understandable given the price difference. What is strange though is the omission of bits like a rear view camera, glove box illumination and flatbed folding rear seats. Of the two, the Nexon is the slightly better equipped with extra goodies like a park assist camera with dynamic guidelines, front fog lamps with cornering assist, rear air vents, umbrella holders with a drainage, fully flat folding rear seats and a cooled illuminated glove box. That apart, the EcoSport comes equipped with all the regular goodies. Ford's new Sync 3 infotainment system offers Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, as well as the MirrorLink connectivity. The Nexon comes with Tata's Connect Next infotainment system by Harman, and it is clearly the better sounding unit. It only offers Android Auto, and at 6.5 inches, the screen is small in size. It also lacks the response of the Ford unit. But if you're looking at a compact SUV, chances are you're also bothered about the boot space. Both have reasonably sized boots and you can pack in quite a bit. Whilst the Nexon is 350 litres, the EcoSport's a little bit more with 352 litres. But the difference really comes in the way their seats flip down, fold, and when you want to open up more space. With the Nexon, it's really a struggle to get the seats to come down. And you can fold them into a 60-40 split and open up more room. However, Tata haven't given us the figures of how much it opens up. However, its seats fold flatter in comparison to the EcoSport, with the base being a flip unit too. On the other hand, the EcoSport has made it really easy now. It's a simple button that helps you flip down the seats and open up 1,178 litres of space when you want that extra room. Overall, it's a close match with the seats up, but the EcoSport has the advantage with the taller stance and opens up more room with the seats down. Now, when you view the Nexon from the outside, it might lead you to feel that this coupe-like roofline means not enough headroom in this back seat, but I have to say that it's clever engineering, the way it's been styled to make you feel like it looks like a coupe, but on the inside there's loads of headroom. I'm not tall, but even a tall person will be really comfortable back here. And as far as width goes and legroom goes, the Nexon is a clear winner. The EcoSport is powered by the brand new Dragon engine, which is a 1.5-litre naturally aspirated petrol. It produces 123 HP and 150 Nm of torque. And the Nexon has the 1.2-litre turbocharged engine with 110 HP and 170 Nm of torque. Out on the road, the engines feel quite different. This Dragon engine is tuned really nicely and power delivery is so linear and smooth. It kicks in at around 1700 RPM and then after that it pulls cleanly and nicely. But even below that, it's not dead or flat, so you'll find cutting through city traffic or ambling around in daily conditions actually quite easy. The Nexon also kicks in as low as 1600 RPM, but in a flat-out acceleration, you have to wait for that point till it really gets going. However, while doing the daily grind in the city, when you're ambling along and using a light foot on the throttle, it will pick up from lower revs in higher gears fairly easily. Then after about 2000 RPM, it pulls quite strongly with a good mid-range. The problem really lies in the fact that there's no consistency to the power delivery and it's quite jerky to drive. In Eco, it's the most jerky, it improves a bit in the city mode, and it's the sport mode that really feels the best. So it's the linearity of the EcoSport's engine that makes it a winner, and the figures say so too. Now, when people buy petrol engines, they want refinement, and I have to say both cars do quite well on that front. But it is the EcoSport that has the slight edge and is the more silent engine. Surprisingly, where the odds begin to lean in the Nexon's favor are ride and handling. Now, it's surprising to say this, but as far as ride handling goes, it's the Nexon that actually feels the better one of the two. Fords are the ones that we really appreciate for their ride handling package. But in this case, even though the Ford is really good, the Nexon is better. It goes around the corners in a flatter, more composed manner with less body roll, and even the steering feels quick to respond and gives you a good connected feel. This isn't to say that the EcoSport's ride is bad. In fact, the new car is an improvement over the older one. But it still has a slightly harder edge to it when compared to the Nexon. Well, we've talked about how they look, how they feel, and how they drive. Now let's come down to hard facts and talk price. Similarly spec'd, the Nexon is about 70,000 rupees cheaper than the EcoSport. That's a lot of money. And considering the way it looks, the fact that it rides and handles better, it is the more spacious of the two, and it does have more features, it may come across as the better package overall. However, this is a petrol comparison, and as far as engines go, the EcoSport is the one that's more refined and better to drive with its consistent power delivery. It is also the more fuel-efficient engine. That apart, when you buy a car, you want one that gives you peace of mind. And that's where the EcoSport comes out ahead. It just feels the better put together, the better finished, and the more refined car as well. Coupled with that petrol engine, if I had to put my money down, I'd still put it down on the EcoSport.
Coming up, we take a look at the tech-laden new Audi A8.
Audi unveiled the all-new version of its flagship luxury sedan, the A8, with much fanfare earlier this year. And technology, more than anything else, is what Audi is relying on to distinguish the A8 from rivals like the BMW 7 Series and Mercedes-Benz S-Class. The tech-heavy experience starts right as you get into the cabin.
The A8's cabin is screens galore. There are a total of 6 screens in the cabin. So there are 3 in the back, 2 entertainment screens and 1 little tablet device for other controls. And up front you get your virtual cockpit, and there are 2 touch screens. So there's one on top, one below. The one on top is for your navigation and infotainment settings, and the one below is for climate control and everything else. The cool thing about the touchscreen here is it does give you some amount of feedback, so you hear a click and a slight buzz when you press it, so that is quite cool.
Working the multiple screens can be overwhelming and a distraction, and unfortunately the level 3 autonomous features the new A8 boasts of won't make it to India either. But there is tech to make your life simpler, safer and comfier.
Now I'm going to demonstrate what Audi calls Garage Assist. Now what this lets you do is use your smartphone to literally park the car. So there we go, my e-tron Audi A8 has come. So it's not the straightest of angles, it's adjusting everything. There we go.
It's a smart move to extend the parking functionality right to your phone, and the cool thing is the car can be made to maneuver into awkward parkings as well. As for the tech for safety, it's got all the electronics you'd expect and then some more.
So when you're under attack, say someone's coming to punch you, your natural reaction is to go up. So the Audi A8 also has a feature that braces for impact when it senses an impending collision. Let's see how it works. Oh!
The demo was a bit unnerving, but the system works. Raising the car by the crucial 8 centimeters means it's the stronger sill rather than the doors that take the impact. And of course, the suspension lift function has been advanced in the interest of comfort as well.
The next feature is something that will find a lot of use in India. It's the predictive air suspension. Now what that does is it adjusts the ride height individually for each of the wheels when it sees a pothole or a speed breaker coming up, so everything remains flat and level. Let's see how it goes.
It really reduces the blow of the bumps. The A8 is also built for highly automated driving, and in international markets gets features such as traffic jam assist that takes over driving duties at motorway speeds up to 50 kph. But you can tell your chauffeur his job is safe, as none of the automated driving functions will make it to India. The A8 for India will be offered with 3 engine options. a 340 HP 3-litre V6 petrol, a 286 HP 3-litre V6 diesel, and a 460 HP 4-litre V8 petrol. I had a go in the 4-litre V8, but Spain's speed-restricted roads didn't give me a chance to open it up. Audi claims a 0 to 100 kph time of 4.6 seconds, and initial acceleration does feel really strong.
What I can tell you is how this A8 drives. This one has the stock air suspension, so none of the predictive wizardry going on here. As of what I've felt so far, well, the ride is a bit floaty in comfort mode. Dynamic does firm things up, but the roads here are so smooth you really can't tell how much of a difference it makes to the ride quality. What is nice is the steering wheel, surprisingly. That's not something we say too often about Audis. You know you're driving a big, heavy car, but there is more feel. But again, that's something your chauffeur will be happy to know about. I don't think most owners will care.
What owners will care about is the experience at the back, and it is good.
For a car in the A8's class, you expect it to come with great rear seats. This one's are exemplary. Then you expect it to come with a lot of features to pamper the rear seat occupants. This one does. You get two individual rear seat entertainment screens. There's this tablet-like controller for everything, including 8 massage options, and even the reading lights are matrix LEDs. Then you expect lots of space, and there is. But if you want more, Audi will give you an option for just that. This is when you know you've arrived.
The A8 will also make the right impression when you roll in for that board meeting. Its long, wide, and the oversized hexagonal grille that is a feature which will make it to future Audis too gives the A8 an imposing face. Of course, it's got sophisticated matrix LEDs and even the option of laser headlights. The lights at the rear are a talking point in their own right. Made up of OLEDs, its patterns are no less than a light show. The A8 arrives in India in early 2018 and it will be priced upwards of 1 crore rupees. And whether or not the A8 is the best of the luxury sedans is something we'll know only when we bring the pack together. As is, the A8 does come across as the one that will appeal most to India's tech moguls.
After the break, Hormaz brings you all the latest car news in Confidential.
Hello and welcome to Autocar Confidential, that part of the show where we give you all the buzz, the latest happenings and the rumors we hear from the auto industry. So let's talk about the Auto Expo, which really we are in the run-up to. Auto Expo fever is starting. But a bit of bad news is that it's not going to have a lot of participants this time in terms of numbers. A lot of people have dropped out. We don't have Volkswagen, we don't have Ford, Nissan is unlikely to be there, Jaguar Land Rover is not coming. So there's quite a lot of dropouts this time. Audi as well is not there. But from the people who are taking part, they are taking part with a bang. For example, Maruti has got twice the space as it had last year. Really a lot happening from Maruti. Obviously, the star of the show is going to be the new Suzuki Swift, the all-new Swift, which comes after about 6 years. So this is going to be its Indian debut. So really, the Swift being a big seller for Maruti is going to take center stage over there. There's going to be a lot of talk on electrification. Maruti has just announced, or rather Suzuki has announced that it will make electric cars in India with Toyota. So we can expect to see some concepts from Maruti of electric cars. Also pushing the electric car theme is going to be Hyundai. What we hear is they are giving a sedan electric car concept. So that again has a lot of potential for the Indian market. Hyundai also showing what they call its family concept car, or the successor to the Santro. Now that concept is likely to be seen for the first time at the Auto Expo. So a lot of action happening at the Expo, and you keep watching us and we'll keep giving you the news as we get it.